In my house. In my house.
That went fast.
Yes. Hey, down in front, Alex. Down in front. Let's keep moving.
Alex!
You gotta go right or left. Keep moving. Take it away. Get up.
Thanks, buddy.
What? Yeah, but it's a live stream, so it's just gonna.
May their memory be a blessing. Be a blessing. May their memory be a blessing.
Hey, does anybody with JVP want to give a little narration for the live stream? You can just Here, I'm gonna flip the mic around for you.
We have 18 Jewish elders, Jewish elder women currently chaining themselves to the fence of the White House on the day of the White House Hanukkah party. They are chanting they're saying aloud the names of people who have been the thousands who have been killed in Gaza, starting with the eldest. They are chanting their names, they are saying their names, and they are chanting together, "May their memory be a blessing." They are chanting together, "Biden, Biden, pick a side, ceasefire or genocide." Currently, these 18 Jewish women elders are chained. They have chained themselves to the White House, and they are saying the names, starting with the eldest of the Gazans who've been murdered. And then they are chanting together, "May their memory be a blessing."
1982. You know that? Yeah. Soprashchik, I remember. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Nobody talked about it. Yeah. Nobody talked. All connected. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You want to talk to somebody? No, I'll give you a spokesperson.
For folks who are watching from home, we are at the White House with Jewish Voices for Peace. A group of 18 elders have chained themselves to the front gate of the White House. They're reading the names of the Palestinians who've been killed. They're starting with the eldest. Today is the day of the White House Hanukkah party.
Can we do switch so she's in the back? Can we do switch
So they're in the background.
so we can see the action in the background?
themselves to the White House gate to protest Biden's policy of funding Israeli murder of Palestinians. We want a ceasefire now. We want an end to the war and an end to the killing.
Why did you choose this day?
Because it's Hanukkah. And Hanukkah is the festival of light. And we're here to try to bring some light into a policy that should not exist. Many people in this country and all over the world are opposed to this war. The number of people in Congress that are supporting a ceasefire is growing every day. And Jewish people increasingly want a ceasefire, a permanent ceasefire.
Anything else you'd like to add? Is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Alex. Thank you.
Is it your birthday?
Yeah, it's his birthday.
Alex,
Got the signature. Happy 60th.
Is it really?
25. Come on.
Is it really?
Give me a. No, sorry.
You're so gullible, Carol.
I am totally gullible. I shouldn't be a journalist. I believe everything.
Is it the 5th anniversary
After
of your
fifth
50th
Pulitzer, we would
birthday?
think that you
I
would.
have many, many birthdays
so
every year.
Oh wait, or is it 6? I lose count.
Everyone is 25.
Oh, Mary, a little bit? Awesome.
For what you're seeing right now are 18 Jewish women elders who have chained themselves to the gates of the White House on this day, demanding ceasefire now, stop the genocide that's happening to the Palestinian people in Gaza. Tonight there's a Hanukkah party that the White House is hosting, and we say there will be no celebrations while genocide is happening, funded by the U.S., billions and billions of dollars, and Biden has okayed billions and billions more to kill children, adults, elders, and our elders of the Jewish community are here saying, not in our name. You won't do this in our name. And they are elders from many different movements and have been involved in organizing for decades and decades. And they're saying Palestinians have the right to live in freedom, the right to return home. And they're all wearing black shirts that say not in our name. And the back says, Jews say ceasefire now. And there's a banner that says, Jewish elders to Biden, stop the genocide, ceasefire now. There's big wreaths all over the White House, and there will be celebrations tonight. And these Jewish women elders, women that we all look up to, who've dedicated their lives to fighting for freedom, collective liberation for all people, are here chaining themselves to the fence of the White House gates. That's what you're seeing right now.
Ceasefire, not genocide! Biden, pick a side! Ceasefire, not genocide! Biden, pick a side! Ceasefire, not genocide! Biden, pick a
The chant we're hearing right now, Biden, Biden, pick a side, ceasefire, not genocide.
Ceasefire, not genocide!
For those who are just tuning in,
Ceasefire, not genocide!
we're here with Jewish Voices for Peace. There's a group of
Ceasefire,
Jewish elders,
not
elder women,
genocide!
18 of them, who've chained themselves to the White House fence.
Ceasefire, not genocide!
They're telling President Joe Biden to pick a side.
To celebrate, ceasefire can't wait! To celebrate, ceasefire
U.S. Secret
can't
Service,
wait!
as you see, has shut down Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House. They've pushed us all across the street. Entire street's closed right now. Presumably, they're preparing to make some arrests. You can see a group of officers kind of showing up. But let's keep the focus on these Jewish elders who have chained themselves to the fence in front of the White House, telling Biden, not in our name.
No, just straight.
They're holding a banner that reads, "Stop the genocide, ceasefire now, Jewish elders to Biden."
What was it?
We can see on the far left of the frame, U.S. Secret Service and our Parks Police are talking to one of the protesters, presumably to start to give some warnings. Let's zoom in so we can see each of their faces.
I wish I was 55 again. Congratulations. What's your birthday dinner? What do you always want on your birthday? And a pup cup?
After each name.
Waffle fries. Chick-fil-A sauce.
What's up, man?
They make
All
Chick-fil-A lemonade is so good.
Better man than I.
They're once again reading the names of Palestinians who have lost their lives. The group on this side of the street is responding, "Let their memory be a blessing."
Memory be for a blessing!
Oh, yeah.
I'm emotionally arrested at the age of 15.
May their memory be for a blessing!
That's why we love you.
Memory be for a blessing! May their memory be for a blessing! May their memory be for a blessing!
Claudio's better.
May their memory be for a blessing!
But now it's the time that you can do your magic.
May their memory be for a blessing!
You can, Carol. If only one person can, that's you. Yeah, I need to do editing too. Let's get together. Yes, please. Yeah. Did you do anything over the weekend?
I wasn't there anything.
Okay, it's Jewish Voice for Jews.
Oh, no, voice, singular.
Yesterday and the day before.
Yesterday I edited all day long.
Okay. But did you do anything with Trish? I mean, for her birthday? Do you want to do something for her?
If you come over, we'll have another one.
Okay.
See, you get to be my age. You won't remember it.
Wow. I'm saying.
Oh, I shot a protest marcher.
Yeah, it's live, so like people are tuning in and out. So just assume they have a group.
Call you. I'm like, don't call Alex. He's been helping me so much. Brandon stepped in.
Okay. Yeah, I was helping other people too, you know. Yeah, a friend of mine wants to put all of her entire collection of jewelry design on Etsy. She wants to sell her stuff. Yeah, she's a jewelry designer. So I've been helping her to get pictures, so product shots, modeling, and then, yeah, so
I am getting this about the president. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And you can, like, repeat. Yeah, if you put this on you, then you don't have to hold it.
Okay.
And you can just repeat different iterations of the same thing. Okay. Because people are going to be kind of watch for a few minutes and then pop out. So go ahead.
If you're just joining our live stream now, we are here outside the White House in solidarity with the international strike for Palestine today, and on the day of Joe Biden's White House Hanukkah party. 18 Jewish elders have just chained themselves to the White House gate, calling on Joe Biden to call for a ceasefire to stop the genocide of thousands and thousands of Palestinians in Gaza. And right now, the elders who have chained themselves to the White House fence are reading out the names of Palestinians who have been murdered by Israel in Gaza, starting with the oldest people who have been killed, and reading their names out loud. And those who are gathered here after each name are chanting, "May their memories be for a blessing." So we're here today with these 18 courageous Jewish elders who are chaining themselves to the White House to make it clear to Joe Biden that he needs to call for a ceasefire to stop the genocide in Gaza immediately.
It's also good if you like details of what's happening, like there's the street, you know, just kind of like play-by-play so people can feel what it's together.
So far, the elders were able to successfully chain themselves to the fence. They're all locked down. The cops totally cleared out the area, and now they're just standing around. But our elders are here. They're chained. They're locked down. They're chanting. They're singing, calling on Joe Biden to stop the genocide. Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire, not genocide. Biden, pick a side. Ceasefire, not genocide. Pick a side. Not genocide. Biden, pick a side. Ceasefire, not genocide. Palestinians have the right to live in freedom, the right to return home. Palestinians have the right to live in freedom, the right to return home. Palestinians have the right to live in freedom, the right to return home.
You could stick that in the box when you're
Palestinians have the right to live in freedom,
There's still one picking up because it can't be at Knox, but it won't be able to go.
the right to return home.
The stream is doing really well. There's like 500 something just watching on Twitter.
Ceasefire cannot wait. 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 Ceasefire cannot wait.
Joining. Thank you for tuning in. We are here today in Washington, D.C., outside the White House on this day of global strike in solidarity with Palestine and on the day of the White House Hanukkah party. And 18 Jewish elders have just chained themselves to the fence of the White House. They've locked down, calling on Joe Biden to stop the genocide and call for a ceasefire in Gaza. And right now, they are continuing to read aloud the names of Palestinians who have been murdered by Israel in Gaza. They're reading the eldest people who have been killed and reading in reverse order of age to honor all those who have been murdered and to honor the elders whose lives have been lost.
Let's turn the White House around.
So as the elders are reading aloud these names, after each name they're saying, may their memories be for a blessing, to honor each and every person who has been murdered.
Oh, I'm well, it's open for the register, so I think that there's an sense that thing outside. We haven't finished that. Yeah, keep looking. So we are moving everything.
What are we waiting for? Just to have them get cut off?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm going to everything because everything I have is.
Well, drama. Come on. Drama.
You mean at the National Archive?
Yeah.
So dark.
It was so dark. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the only problem, but it was like at least a moment. If I you were there.
I was not. I mean, yeah. Because you told me they didn't want to let Tim and Joe in. And I think we reached out too, but they didn't respond.
Excuse me, your hair just moved. Yeah, you're perfect right up until then.
Yeah, so Carol has more space. And then she won't block that live camera.
If you're just joining, what you're seeing right here is 18 elder Jewish women have just chained themselves to the White House gates. They're here in the middle of Hanukkah, just hours before President Biden is set to host the White House Hanukkah party, to demand that Biden and Congress stop arming and funding the genocide of Palestinians. They're here in tremendous grief and in rage over the almost 20,000 Palestinians now killed in the last 2 months of Israeli aerial assault, ground assault by so many angles, as now all Palestinians in Gaza are at risk of starvation. They have been reading the names of the Palestinians who have been killed in these last 2 months, and they have been starting with the eldest, who are 93 years old, 92 years old, 91 years old, all the way down to the children. So we know there are over 7,000 children who have been killed by the Israeli military, with 80% U.S. bombs in this time. Many of them are children of the Holocaust. All of them have been active in other social justice movements, be it Black liberation, queer and trans liberation. They're housing justice folks. We've got MacArthur Genius Award winners. We've got scholars, historians, authors, artists. And what you're seeing now is it looks like the Secret Service is approaching the chained Jewish elders. They managed, all 18 of them managed to lock themselves down before Secret Service took notice. There are 18 elders who've chained themselves because 18 in Jewish symbology represents life. It's high. And so they are here out of a commitment to life, to Palestinian life, such that to say that all Palestinians, all people should be able to live out their days and to reach the age that they are all now. They should all be able to live and to love and to see future generations be born. You hear them now chanting, "Ceasefire now." They're saying, "Biden, Biden, choose a side. Ceasefire, not genocide." They're all wearing what have become iconic black t-shirts that read "Not in our name" on the front, and Jews say "Ceasefire now" on the back.
Ceasefire, not genocide. Biden, Biden, take a side. Ceasefire, not genocide.
This demonstration comes on the heels of the United States vetoing a UN Security Council resolution for a humanitarian ceasefire on Friday. Of course, we know that the United Nations was created in the wake of the Holocaust, and so many of the elder Jewish women here are children of the Holocaust, here to say that they know the price of silence and will not be silent in the face of this genocide against Palestinians. I know that Israel is murdering elders and children and doctors and journalists and scholars and poets on, and are here to demand an end to this cataclysmic nightmare, this crisis of epic proportions. Just this past Friday, President Biden bypassed Congress to send 14,000 tank shells to Israel to be used in Gaza. where at least 7,000 children have been killed, and there are estimates of at least 7,000 people beneath the rubble right now. The Gaza Ministry of Health has said it's impossible to keep counting the number of people who have been killed. Part of what they're here to say is that the U.S. is arming and funding this massacre of Palestinians not for Jewish safety, but for its own interests. So they're here to say, Biden, stop using us. Palestinians should be free. We demand it. And having elders here doing this lockdown, they're locking them, they've locked their bodies to the White House gates. It challenges the narrative that it is only young Jews who are calling for Palestinian freedom. And in fact, so many Jewish elders have been in this struggle for the long haul, and since for as long as Israel has been committing atrocities, there has been dissent to it. Many of the elder women you see here have been demonstrating against these atrocities for their entire lives. And they have paved the path for so many of the rest of us.
Biden, pick a side. Ceasefire, not genocide. Biden, pick a side. Ceasefire, not genocide. Biden, pick a side. Ceasefire, not genocide. Biden, pick a side. Ceasefire, not genocide.
The 18 Jewish elders that you're seeing now chained themselves to the White House gates. They came from all over the country. During Hanukkah, just hours before the White House Hanukkah party, to demand that Biden and Congress stop arming, stop funding these mass atrocities against Palestinians. This unspeakable cruelty that has gone so far beyond what words can even describe. You'll see now that they've got sophisticated tools to try to break the chains, the very thick chains that these elder women have used to chain themselves to the White House gates. They're chanting now, ceasefire now, Jews against genocide, not in our name, no safety in apartheid. And that's part of the critical message here too, is that Israel's apartheid policies don't make Jews safer either. We know that they enact daily, devastating, often lethal violence on Palestinians, and it doesn't make Jews safer either. And they're here to say that there is a future. There is a future in which all of us are safe and free. Every single individual deserves to be safe and free and with their families in their homes. And we have total confidence in that future. That future begins by granting Palestinians their freedom, and Palestinian freedoms by stopping the bombs now. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. This is Jewish Voice for Peace. We are witnessing right now 18 elder Jewish women have just chained themselves to the White House gates during Hanukkah, just hours before President Biden hosts a Hanukkah party at the White House. And they're here demanding that Biden and Congress stop the genocide, that they stop arming and funding mass atrocities against Palestinians that have killed at least 17,700 Palestinians, and the Gaza Ministry of Health has lost count. At least 7,000 of them have been children. And we know that there are at least another 7,000 beneath the rubble right now. You are seeing the Secret Service has brought in large tools to break open the chains.
That's U.S. Park Police in the blue stripes.
To break open the chains that the women have used to chain themselves to the gates, and they are arresting each one of them one by one. They have a banner in front of them that reads, "Jewish elders to Biden, stop the genocide, ceasefire now." They're here saying that Israel is murdering elders, murdering children, murdering doctors and journalists and scholars and poets, and there is no way anymore for us to describe the scale of this atrocity. We demand an end to this crisis of epic proportions, this cataclysmic nightmare, this never-ending slaughter. While chained to the gates of the White House, our Jewish elders have been reading the names of the more than 17,700 Palestinians killed, and they have started with the eldest, was 93-year-old, a survivor of the 1948 Nakba, in which 750,000 Palestinians were forcibly expelled from their homes in order for the State of Israel to be founded. We know that just in the last 2 months, more Palestinians have been killed and more Palestinians have been displaced than in that original Nakba, Arabic for catastrophe. You're watching the police use large tools to break open the very thick chains that the women chose to chain themselves to the White House fence. They've been arresting them one by one. There are now about 7 elders left. They're here to say it's not complicated. Palestinians are being slaughtered, not just by bombs, but also by starvation. All 2.3 million Palestinians living in Gaza right now are at risk of starvation. There are tens of thousands of people injured with no workable hospitals. It has never been more important that we act. The White House said that their holiday display that you see behind these elders is designed to, quote, capture the pure, unfiltered delight and imagination of childhood. Well, it's this same government that has been arming and funding the Israeli government in their genocidal assault against Palestinians that has killed over 7,000 children. Just this Friday, President Biden bypassed Congress to send 14,000 tank shells to Israel to continue this slaughter. And we are here to say it is not for Jewish safety. Don't let them tell you it is for Jewish safety. The U.S. has their own imperial interests and is using Jews as its moral cover. We know that true safety comes through solidarity, that Jewish safety is actually deeply intertwined with Palestinian freedom. We're here to say stop using us. Many of the women that you see here are children of the Holocaust. They're here to say they know the price of silence. They know it intimately and will not be silent in the face of another genocide. And you're watching the last 2 still holding the banner that says Jewish elders to Biden, stop the genocide, ceasefire now. You are watching them be arrested. We've got 1 left. She is chanting, "Let Gaza live." As crowds that have been pushed very far away by the Secret Service are chanting, "Let Gaza live," with her from afar. The last one standing there is Deborah Kaplan. She's 69 years old. She's a reproductive justice and maternal child health advocate. And she traveled far to be here during Hanukkah, hours before the White House Hanukkah party, with full rage and grief and determination to say, let Gaza live. This is the last of the 18 elders who chained themselves with very thick chains to the White House. 18 in Jewish symbology symbolizes chai, or life. They are here out of a commitment to life, the commitment to Palestinian life, saying all Palestinians should be able to live to their age, to see future generations be born. You're hearing chants from the onlookers saying, stop the genocide, free Palestine. We've increasingly been hearing that there is a rift amongst Jews, that younger Jews are breaking off and are enraged by Israel's devastating policies against Palestinians. And part of what the elders are here in this demonstration to say is it's not just young people. For as long as Israel has been committing atrocities against Palestinians, which happened on day one of its founding, there have been Jewish people dissenting, resisting, saying Jewish safety can never come at the expense of the safety of another people. That is no safety at all. They're here to highlight for us that Jews have been protesting, demonstrating against Israel's atrocities for decades. And they will be here, and we will be here until the killing stops, until the oppression stops, until the siege is lifted, and until every single Palestinian lives in freedom.
Stop the genocide! Free Palestine! Stop the genocide! Free Palestine!
You need to be closer to them now.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
There you are.
Free Palestine!
Now that the police have arrested all 18 Jewish elder women who chained themselves to the White House fence just hours before President Biden is set to host the White House Hanukkah party as it funds and arms the Israeli government in its relentless slaughter of Palestinians. You're watching the live stream move as we follow all of the elders who've now been pulled to the side by the police. They are getting ready to load them into police vans. They say ceasefire, cannot wait, no Hanukkah to celebrate. As they pump their fists in the air. These 18 Jewish women elders are from all over the country. They come from a range of backgrounds. There are Palestinian Jews here. There are Jews whose families survived the Holocaust. There are scholars. There's a MacArthur Genius Award winner. There are reproductive justice advocates. They're chanting now, never again, it is now, never again for anyone. And of course, never again is a slogan used just after the Holocaust to say, never again should something like this happen. And they are here to say, it is. Genocide is happening right now in our names. And of course, we know it was just after the Holocaust that the United Nations was founded to prevent atrocities like this. And just this Friday, the United States was the lone vote in vetoing a United Nations Security Council resolution calling for a humanitarian ceasefire. They're here to say, don't let anyone tell you this is complicated. Palestinians are being slaughtered. Humans are being slaughtered by bombs, by starvation, by siege, by suffocation, by lack of medical care, by refusal to give people drinkable water. 97% of the water in Gaza is contaminated. It is the most densely populated place on earth. For 16 years, the Israeli government has kept the people of Gaza under siege, not allowing them to go in or out, not to get medical care, not to see their families on the other side of the fence that keeps them penned in. And over about half of the population in Gaza is children. They are singing now, "We shall not be moved." Ceasefire now, we shall not be moved. And of course, so many of these elders are deeply involved in other movements here in the United States and around the world, including the civil rights movement, from which this beautiful song comes. Movements for Black liberation, for queer and trans liberation, for reproductive justice, racial justice, climate justice, gender justice, Puerto Rican independence, against U.S. imperialism in Latin America and other places around the world, against the Vietnam War, against the Iraq War. One of the elder Jewish women who just locked herself to the gates of the White House was one of the core organizers of the largest demonstration against the Iraq War.